I am never satisfied. It's a curse.
Before the start of this video, I wanted to bring up some of my amazing sponsors. First up, Baron of Dice. If you want to upgrade your battlefield with premium accessories, playmats, deck boxes, and of course dice, Baron of Dice has you covered. Their stuff looks incredible on camera and even better on your game table. Use code Jurassic to support the channel. Also, I am partnered up with printing Proxies. This is a great website to get all your proxies. Before even getting sponsored by them, I've used their website multiple times to order proxies myself, and I felt the service was incredible. The proxies look great, and it really takes the hassle out of getting multiple copies of a certain card, so definitely go check them out in the description too. And last but not least, if you want to support the channel directly, I do have a Patreon link down below in the description too. It definitely goes a long way in supporting the channel. So now with all that said, let's get right back into the video. Look, I love Commander, but if your average EDH game is longer than Lord of the Rings Extended Editions, we need to talk. Some people want value engines, some people want synergy. I clearly just want the game to end at some point. So today I am going to show you the best Commander decks for people who hate long games, decks that force action, drain life totals, and make the table say, okay, yeah, sure, let's just shuffle up for the next game. So let's dive into some of these commanders. First of all, let's talk about Valgavoth, Harrower of Souls. This commander is also known as the commander that doesn't even need to attack, and some of your opponents may be even at 12 life total. Valgavoth is the perfect commander for those who want the games to end passively. You're not comboing, you're not swinging wide, you're basically just existing. This is probably the most popular commander, if not the most popular commander from Duskborn House of Horror. I think it's actually the most popular Rakdos commander, if I'm not correct. Besides that point, this is extremely strong. Every turn cycle, life totals are ticking down. You could ping life totals, drain them. It all really adds up fast. This deck is pretty brutal for a lot of different reasons, mainly because you don't have to overextend your hand. You don't really care about blockers, and really removal only just slows the deck down. It doesn't necessarily stop you and your game plan, because really Valgavoth is there to just get you more value drawing cards when your opponents lose life. This commander is essentially equivalent to a countdown timer. Nobody really feels safe when it's on the battlefield. Nobody really durdles around too. So this honestly is the perfect commander for making sure everyone is using their life totals responsibly, because they're going to be draining pretty fast. So from the horrible scary plane of Duskborn, let's go to the cute and adorable plane of Bloomborough and talk about Bello, Bard of the Brambles. This is the type of commander that makes your opponents question their life. This deck does something pretty terrifying. It turns your artifacts and enchantments into legitimate threats. Also, the fact that you're giving haste and indestructible to those creatures you animate is pretty hard to stop. Also, getting card draw is also great in the command zone. The more you swing in with those creatures like Berserker's Onslaught or even Gratuitous Violence, the more you're going to be dealing damage. I just love the fact that it makes any enchantment or artifact into a creature, so that way you're just swinging in for more and more damage. Also, I could see sometime in the future they totally make this a Rocket the Raccoon reskin with the Marvel set. It's 100% coming whether you like it or not. But in all seriousness, Bello, Bard of the Brambles makes the game end fast because a lot of your value engines are going to be your win cons. Board wipes are going to hurt everyone equally besides you, because all those enchantments and artifacts aren't going to be creatures during your opponent's turns when they cast those board wipes. And honestly, he's a value engine in himself. If you swing in with 3 or 4 of your animated artifacts or enchantments, you're just going to be drawing that much more cards when they deal combat damage. Honestly, this deck doesn't durdle, it escalates. But now let's talk about another personal favorite of mine, and that's Zurgo Stormrender. If you want the game to end fast, this is the commander for you. If you hate long games and love watching life totals melt, Zurgo is your guy. This is basically death by 1,000 paper cuts, because you're not attacking for 40, you're draining for 2, then 3, then suddenly everyone is at single digits. You're making a bunch of tokens on the board, which makes impact tremor-like effects even more deadly, and they do get sacrificed, so Blood Artist effects are going to trigger too. So all those pinging and draining life effects are going to be extra valuable. This is one of the best Aristocrats commanders, in my opinion at least, because it itself will drain the table or give you card draw, depending on if people block your creatures or if your creatures die during combat. Honestly, the best part about this commander is people think that they are safe, at least until the math catches up and the game just ends like that. I just love this because it's essentially a Blood Artist in the command zone, and it will give you card draw. It's doing both for you. Zurgo is perfect if you want constant pressure on your opponent's life total. No real downtime for your opponents too, because they have to constantly worry about you attacking them or attacking other opponents too, because no matter what, everyone is getting drained or you're gaining the value. And the fact that the game cannot stall, a lot of people that play control probably just don't like playing against token decks because their life totals are dwindling more and more and more. So Zurgo is absolutely perfect if you want that situation of closing out the game pretty soon. But if aggro isn't necessarily your speed, let's talk about Syr Konrad the Grim. This came out of Throne of Eldraine. This is a pretty old set, even though this is when I first started playing Standard again. But Syr Konrad is pretty cool as a commander because it has a really cool art. But basically this commander just says, oh, you're just playing Magic? Well, cool. Everyone's gonna lose life. This is the type of deck that attacks from every single angle. When creatures die, when creatures are getting milled, and when creatures are leaving the graveyard. It really doesn't matter who those cards are. Everyone pays. There are a lot of reasons why Syr Konrad decks end the game fast, and that's because mill becomes damage, removal becomes damage, and board wipes become damage. You don't necessarily need to combo, though there are a lot of combo options in Syr Konrad that you could utilize for sure, but you really don't need to combo. You just need the game to function. You need people just to attack, lose creatures, make them go to the graveyard. If the table is really just doing anything, Syr Konrad is just winning outright. And that's what's just so seriously powerful about Syr Konrad. It was printed as an uncommon in Throne of Eldraine, which is quite surprising because I think it's one of the more powerful ones from that set if you're not counting Kenrith, which is just a toolbox commander that is pretty boring, not gonna lie. This as a mono black commander is just quite strong and something that you should not underestimate if you're playing against it, but if you're playing with it, you're just gonna have a good experience overall, just draining everybody to death. And now let's talk about the last commander, and this one is more of a philosophy for a lot of these type of commanders that focus on goad. Goad is a great keyword that makes people move their creatures into combat because they have to attack with them. This usually will close out the game pretty fast because people will be forced to swing at somebody. And the commander I wanted to talk about that kind of rounds out the subject of goad is Firkraag, Cunning Instigator. This is the type of commander that makes everyone attack and then you get paid for it. If you hate long games, goad is one of the most underrated mechanics in Commander, and honestly Firkraag does it better than most anyone. And here's why this deck forces the game to end. Every time you go to creature, you're forcing combat, shrinking boards, and drawing cards, gaining that value when those creatures die. People can't necessarily sit back, they can't durdle around, focusing on accumulating resources. They have to attack, usually in a lot of bad blocks in most situations. And while everyone else is losing creatures, you're drawing more cards, and you're buffing up Firkraag. And then finally, you're able to set up the finishing blow, maybe even with some commander damage. So honestly, Firkraag doesn't just create chaos, he also profits from it too. This deck is perfect for you if you want constant action, making people swing when they don't want to, and the game will honestly naturally collapse in your favor. And nobody really even blames the goad player, they focus on the people that are goaded. They're mad at the person who just attacked him, honestly, which is kind of funny because it kind of makes you feel like the conniving evil genius at the table. Even just playing this as the precon itself, it's actually pretty fun and pretty strong, so definitely go check it out. So that'll do it for me, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming by and watching this video on 5 commanders that will help you close out the game just a little bit faster, especially if you hate those long games. Also, make sure to check out printing proxies for your proxy needs if you want to build some of these commanders and want to build them on a budget. That's definitely one of the best ways to do so, in my opinion. Also, check out Baron of Dice for your gaming needs too. And let me know down below in the comments, what are some of your favorite commanders that close out the game pretty fast? I'd love to hear your thoughts down below too. So on your way out, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And with out of the way, thank you for stopping by.